So, are we recording?
Yep.
Okay, it's this is the mayor manager meeting, and it's August 4th at 8:31 a.m. And in the Teams meeting is Linda Olson, Allison McKinney Brown, Jade Truscott Reed, Othaniel Sierra, Stephanie Carlisle, and Shawn Lewis. And yeah, that's everybody, right?
Yes.
Doke. Good meeting last night.
No.
We got through everything.
I'm having trouble getting this open. Do you mind starting us off?
Okay, if I can read it because it's so small, let me put it up on my other screen. All right, next week, August 10th, is really just the budget the entire time. BAC is going to be ready with their report, right? And then 15-minute presentation. Is that from the BAC?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the rest is Director Sabata going through the budget with all the directors in hand, right? On hand?
Correct.
Yes, I think each director is going to speak now.
Okay, so how do you want to handle this? Will each speak for a certain time and then we can ask them specific questions, or how will it go?
Yeah, I think we're still working those details out.
Okay.
But right now, Maria would like each director to really review major changes.
Okay.
So that works with you all.
Yeah. Okay, great. I'm just writing that down. Okay, I think the 10th is pretty straightforward. Then the 17th is the next one.
Correct.
What's the 30-minute
Shawn.
PowerPoint?
Is now exiting.
But I'm still here.
Okay. Are you doing you're off your phone now, right?
Yes, everything is up and going. What was your question, Mayor?
August 17th, the proposed.
Yeah.
So I remember we had put this down to 20 minutes for Peter's presentation, but it looks like
this one is actually for Maria.
Oh, for the water improvements. Oh, sorry, I apologize. Never mind.
But I do think that they will need, the better part of 30 minutes for this.
To present?
Uh-huh.
Because they have some new information, right?
They do. We can double check. Jade, do you see any flexibility in that?
I can double check. That is the time that they did give. So.
Yeah.
So then it's a matter of question and answer. Do we need to give direction?
Yes, you do.
Um,
45 minutes, an hour.
Yeah, probably. So 30-minute presentation, 30-minute conversation, probably.
Probably so, yeah.
Okay.
Shawn,
Uh-huh.
I guess just based off of member Russell's point from not last night's meeting, but the meeting before, is staff going to be able to provide the different sizing as well as part of this presentation? So right now,
I think that staff is still under the direction of council, which was the 25-year storm event. But
right.
check with Maria. I mean, that was the latest direction that we got from the council. So
it was, but it sounded like member Russell did want to look at different options. And I believe member Anderson has brought it up in the past as well. So maybe even coming back with 10-year.
Okay. Yeah, I'll check with
Or
Maria.
at least
I
just be
think that it
prepared
was
for the
analyzed as both, so.
Okay.
So I have a question then. Are the findings so significant that we actually would go down in size? Because we have been through this so many times for hours.
Yeah, I think it's the cost difference is what you're going to be looking at. So it'll just be kind of a cost benefit between larger pipes, more money, or smaller pipes, slightly less money. But let me check with Maria and see if we can get a little more information on that.
Okay.
But I'll make sure that she looks at a couple of options there.
All right, then Chris isn't available, so that makes that, we have Citizen of the Year. Yeah, I'd say a half hour total with 10-minute presentation, and we're gonna have the applications by then, right? They're all done, because that was due this weekend, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's all in.
I did already have an alternative date for the communications update. If this works for council, September 8th currently has no study session items on it. Would you like to go ahead and move it to there?
Yeah.
And then, so you also have, in terms of motions on August 17th, you have a change order to the police building. And I think I mentioned that at the last mayor manager meeting, some of those. Appointment of Clara Lee Charlton and a number of other associate judges. Municipal court judge salary.
So question about that, will they be there sworn in, or how will that work? Is it just it's just a resolution, they aren't sworn in, right?
Allison or
Mayor, I do believe that he'll do a swearing in at the same time that as soon as the resolution is signed, he'll swear them in.
And do we have to be there for that?
He always does that publicly. So
yeah. So we're gonna have to
I
figure out.
do think, but the swearing in should only take about 5 minutes total.
Yeah, we need to double check with Tamara and see what his plan is, so we can definitely reach out to her.
Okay.
Thank you.
It's so different now that we're virtually, so that's why I'm just like, oh, I'm not sure how he's going to do that.
Yeah, I mean, they can all be on Zoom with their hand up and he's swearing them in, so.
Yeah. Good question. So next we have 3 Colorado trucks that we're purchasing, 2 bucket trucks. We have a grant of a water line easement. This, I believe, is a resident. No, looks like that's at Centennial Park, but we are going to be granting an easement. And then we have Romans Park Phase 2 grant award. So that is going to be on consent.
Consent, yeah.
And then we also can do the Arapahoe County Coordinated Election Services, also by consent, I believe. Is that correct, Stephanie? Did we approved that on first reading unanimously, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Moving on to August 24th, we have the July 2020 financial review. I think Maria gave you, I think, a little preview on some June numbers that are looking surprisingly strong. But that will be, well, you've gotten those, and those were solid. But we are getting some pretty good forecasts for preliminary results for July as well. And then we have a follow-up to the 2021 draft budget. And this is actually the meeting where we're going to probably bring back, based on the conversation and the priorities that council lays out, we'll be bringing back a budget that is closer in line It's not going to be balanced, but I think we are prepared to make some pretty significant cuts to what we'll show you on the 17th.
Sounds good.
And then return to in-person meetings and reopening of facilities. Those have been on, or were asked to be put on previously. You know, it might be worth a check-in to talk about reopening of city facilities. We did have consensus on that. Is that correct, to have that discussion? I think we did. I think 4 people.
What reopening of what part of city facilities?
Well, this was the one that came out of that discussion where
everybody wanted to, I see, yeah.
Yeah.
Whether or not we should have done it.
Right.
Yeah, I guess maybe give us some update of how it's been going and how many people are actually on site all the time every day, because my understanding is not everybody, you don't have 100% people in the offices all the time, right?
No, we don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. We'll do that. Any other questions on the 24th?
Nope.
And then on the September 8th, we now have the communications update. We also have authorizing application for Bureau of Reclamation's Water Smart Water Energy Efficiency Grant. And that's a grant that we're applying for out of utilities to replace all of the flat meters with real meters.
Yay.
You can actually measure usage.
So we will just do it with all the other 1,000 homes. Is that what you're saying?
Well, that's the plan, is to apply for grants that will really help the residents and certainly the utility as well.
Yeah.
If we get some funds for that. We've been in touch with the Water Smart folks and they've been interested in the project, so we'll see.
Great.
And then I'm not sure what this contract update is.
The contract update, I've been told Rhonda will be presenting it. I unfortunately don't have anything submitted. I do believe it's a changeover, but I don't have further detail other than that. I know it's a switch from one thing to another, but I don't have all of the details.
That's fine. I'll just keep a placeholder.
All right. And then the floodplain language adoption. Can you read that one, Jade, please?
Ordinance change to accept all FEMA floodplain regulations.
Okay. And then we have on the building and fire code adoption.
But that's the day, the 14th is.
Oh, right.
Are we canceling this meeting?
Yes, that's the one that you checked, Jade, with the staff, and they said they would be fine moving that. So
Yeah,
that
we're gonna move that date back. That hasn't even come to my office yet. And that's a series of 5 or 6 separate ordinances. So that takes a little bit of time on my end.
Definitely. I did want to see, it might be worth council's time before September 24th to have a discussion, on green building code. There have been some suggestions that have been presented to council via email about building codes. And Councilmember Wink actually, in some comments that she shared with me on the sustainability tab of the strategic plan, they have not been implemented yet, but that's one of the things that she wanted to look at. So I would just throw out that if that is of interest, we could adopt that at the same time, but we could also do it separately as well. I don't think, Allison, correct me if I'm wrong, but these codes can actually go separately. We just typically bring them all together.
Yeah, sorry, it takes me a while to unmute. It's fine if they all go separately. We always talk about them as a body, but every one of them brings something different to the table. So it's absolutely fine if we do them over a series of a couple of meetings.
Well, in that case, I don't know that you need to have a separate discussion. Perhaps at this meeting, though, that could be a topic of discussion that I'm just throwing out that at least one council member has talked to me about.
So how long is that discussion and where would that be?
Let's see, Jade, where did you put that one?
I don't want to get in the habit of one council member mentioning something and we do it all, but I think there's more than one that's interested in environmental sustainability. That was part of our plan, part of our vision from our retreat.
Sure. So it looks like that would be on the 28th. So we have some time.
Okay.
Yeah, and thinking about that further, it's not uncommon for, some cities don't adopt the International Property Maintenance Code, which we have that one adopted. They're very interchangeable. So, if someone wants to bring that up, they can do that at this meeting. I withdraw my my suggestion. And then moving on to October 5th, we had the budget ordinance. That will be
over the 21st. Sorry.
Oh, thank you. So city center development update.
So that will take a full hour probably. Is that what it looks like a lot of stuff there.
I believe so. And this is the topics that they'll be going over.
Okay. They didn't give any time on it, right? Am I
Ma'am.
seeing it or?
I can double check though. One moment.
That'd be great. I think we purposefully put that so it's the only studies topic, right? And then we go right into the budget hearing and then the amendment to Title 16 floodplain regulation hearing, which shouldn't be a huge deal, right?
It shouldn't be, no. It's somewhat dictated to us by FEMA, so.
Mayor, something to have on your radar is that we're going to need to do an executive session for attorney-client privilege with the outside counsel for the DDA redevelopment project before you have that meeting on the 21st.
Oh, before, okay.
Yeah.
Then you need to do it the 8th of September or whatever that day is. Yep, the 8th. If we're canceling the 14th. Can you do it?
Yeah, and honestly, most of this is going to be presented by outside counsel, so I just need to give them a date to be here and loop you in on some of the legal issues they're addressing.
Okay.
I have that added. They did offered 45 minutes. But again, I believe this will be an interactive time.
Really? Okay. I've never seen them do that. I'm not being cheeky.
I can double check with them if you would like.
Well, I think when they say back interactive, they're talking really about kind of the discussion that we had the last time where they present some information. Did we discuss it? Present, discuss.
Okay.
Is that what you understood, Jade?
I believe so, but I can double check.
Yeah, we've got time to figure it out.
I do think the redevelopment office is trying to be sensitive of long, droning presentations that lack interaction.
Yeah.
Lose participants. So, all right, are we ready to move on to the 28th?
Yes.
All right, 28th, we have just the August 2020 financial review. And that was where we've tentatively set the building and fire. And Allison, I'll get with the department and make sure that you have plenty of time. On that, you probably need a month at least.
Yeah, I do like having 4 weeks before that has to go onto the agenda. Even if I could have 3 weeks before we put that on the agenda, because putting it on the agenda is a 2-week process in and of itself.
Sure.
So,
okay.
Yeah, as soon as possible. We're getting close to those dates.
Sure. And then we'll have first reading of the budget on October 5th. Yes, October 5th. And then, Mayor, this is where we tentatively plugged in that joint session between the Inglewood Housing Authority and the City Council.
Yeah.
I did get follow-up from Lindsay after we put this on that she thought that it would be most productive for it to be just staff to Inglewood Housing Authority staff to council. but I
Yes.
told her, okay, you agree?
Yep.
Okay.
Just an update of what's going on, and I would love to see. I mean, could we put in the affordable housing
Yeah, absolutely.
GIS report and look
Mhm.
at a number of things?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, if we were gonna, well, I'm trying to think of when the DU study will be done. It might be kind of nice to marry these issues up in a meeting a couple of months from now, but I don't know where we are on the study at this point.
Yeah, I have a meeting at 9, so I should have said that to you all, and it's with Matt and some of his folks working on the pit
Oh,
to
great.
pull out what's needed for Englewood.
Yeah. Well, that's fine. We can move on. That's the last item that we have planned, essentially. So we can move on. I only got 2 council requests last night. Remember, Russell asked about the state of emergency, and Allison did respond during her comments. So maybe I'll follow up with her and just make sure that she doesn't want anything else on that. And then member Mayor.
This has come up before, and so I think Member Anderson maybe brought it up the last time of when are we, maybe Allison, some overview of when do you move in and out of an emergency order? What would trip it to go out of it? What would,
Okay.
I don't know what the intent behind some of the questions is, so you might want to ask them, what is it that you're getting at with this? Because I don't know if it will answer what their heartthrob issue is. And
this is a very different kind of emergency than we've ever had before, so we're all having to reconceptualize this. So I will put something in writing, but standard rules don't apply. We don't have a major fire, and as soon as we can start rebuilding, the emergency's over. This just kind of goes on and on and on. So it's a whole different way for us to look at what an emergency entails.
Yeah. Okay.
And then Mayor Olson, we had what hours do the co-responders work? How many total staff? Are there other parts of that question you'd like asked?
Yeah.
Days,
Yeah,
hours.
I think the days and the hours. If there's any current data of how many calls, they follow up on that, relieve police from having to do things that really allow, that frees them up to do other things. That would be great. I know that at one point, All Health Network had done a financial look at like 6 months to see what they did in terms of saving emergency room costs. That isn't something we pay for, but I don't know how that works if we take people to the emergency room. Anyway, if there's anything like that they can share with us, I think that would be really helpful. I do think that our council does not all understand the depth of what our co-responder program is and how long it's been around.
Yeah.
I bet the questions and the comments, I keep thinking they don't understand that we have a co-responder program.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just starting from scratch.
Well, we'll run that. You'll get a copy of the submitted council request, and you can make edits to that. But I'll just have them do background, days, hours, staff, how many calls per week, how many do they go on by themselves, i.e. relieving police of doing it, cost, maybe even cost to add staff. That seemed to be a hot topic last night. And then taking people to the emergency room.
Yeah, and they do their own triaging.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's all I had.
Yep, that's what I had down to. Well, Daniel, do you have anything else?
No, nothing for me.
Probably next week we can talk about the when we want to bring the police stuff back. But I do think that we can probably have. You all thought you mentioned something about next week, so
yeah,
double check that.
I realized the police aren't going to be able to get anything together, but well, yeah, no, you mentioned it. So you and the police maybe think through what would be some next steps. Is that what you were offering? Sorry.
Yes. And I do think we could put something together. The clerk's office may punish me later, but for sticking something on the agenda this late hour for next week. But I think we could at least put together an outline for you all, but probably something more comprehensive the following week. So just, yeah.
Well, maybe a preliminary next week would be helpful.
Okay.
Um,
And I could do that during city manager report too. What would your preference be?
well, it's budget meeting, right?
Yes.
So I'm fine with it either way.
Okay.
I would like to get our budget stuff done first, so maybe manager's choice is where the best place is.
Okay, we'll do that. We will
Sounds
do it.
good. What's that little thing that popped up on my? No, that's something else. Something weird just popped up. Department group. That's not from you all. All right. Well, I think this ends the mayor manager meeting then, right? 8:57, and
Thank
we
you.
are.
Have a good day.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good week. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.